And in news just coming in, Suresh Kalmadi, who was produced in Patiala House today, as the CBI wanted to take him into 14 days of custody for further interrogation on several elements surrounding the Commonwealth Games scam. He has not been given 14 days of custody. What he has been given is 8 days of police custody. That is the decision that the court has taken at the moment. He has been remanded into 8 days of police custody. Remember, the arrest took place yesterday. He spent the night in the custody of the CBI. He was produced in court today. A very dramatic beginning, in fact, as he was assaulted. A man threw a slipper at him. When he was taken inside, the CBI did put the information in front of them, but the final decision that was taken was that it would in fact be 8 days in police custody. Joining us for more on this story now, Siddharth Pandey. Siddharth, police custody, not CBI custody. That seems to have been the decision of the court. Tell us more about it.
Well, in effect, it's actually called the police custody, but the fact that the CBI comes under the police charter, it would essentially mean that the custody would be with the CBI, and the court basically said that at this point there is no question of giving him bail because investigations are still going on. Of course, Mr. Kalmadi's lawyers had argued that the media, in effect, had actually announced that he'd been arrested in the morning itself, when actually on paper the CBI has shown his arrest at around 4:30 yesterday. And if that's the case, then the CBI should have produced him earlier in the day, and since they didn't produce him within 24 hours, he should be let go off. But the court didn't agree with that. It's given the authorities 8 days now within which they can question Mr. Kalmadi. The CBI basically had told the court that it needs to question Mr. Kalmadi at length to try and find out the name of other conspirators as well in this particular case. So they've now managed to get 8 days within which they will question Mr. Kalmadi about the involvement of other individuals in the TSR scam.
Right, Siddharth, but also, of course, 8 days rather than the 14 days that the CBI was looking for. So, really, they've got a little less time to go through the questions that they feel they need to pose to Suresh Kalmadi.
Well, that's right. And under law, the authorities are allowed a maximum of 2 weeks or 14 days remand at any given point of time. They cannot exceed that. And usually what the authorities do, they try and question someone. They try and do recoveries. If there's any evidence to be recovered within that time, they try and recover that evidence. But 14 days is the maximum period that authorities are given custody of any person within the judicial confines. After that, of course, either they're given bail or in effect they go under the custody of the court and they're sent to Tihar jail, which is judicial custody. So at this moment right now, the court's given them only 8 days. The CBI wanted a total of 14 days in one go. But the court, not agreeing with that, has given them 8 days within which they can actually question Mr. Kalmadi, try and see if there are other names that they can come up with, any further evidence they can come up with. So that's just the news coming in from the Patiala House Court. The special designated judge of the CBI has now awarded 8 days custody of Mr. Kalmadi to the CBI in which they can interrogate him.
Right, thank you so much, Siddharth, for joining us with those details. Siddharth Pandey there joining us after Suresh Kalmadi has been remanded to 8 days of custody. A court in Patiala House making that decision a day after he was arrested.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. NDTV.com/apps.